can own or gain. In the Saha world, there is nothing that you can get. Now, what we gain is the true understanding of the mind and seeing the nature, the Buddha nature. What is left is the wondrous, luminous, true mind. All Buddhist practitioners would know that everything in the world is unattainable. Transforming Golden Mother delivers sentient beings. I follow Golden Mother for 50 years. Everything is due to Golden Mother. Golden Mother's guidance in my whole life. So they are the 5 elders in Taoism as well. At the center, belonging to the earth element, that's the Huang Lao or the yellow elder. In the north, belonging to the water element, that's the water virtue. The south, fire virtue. And the east, the wood element, that's the Dong-hua Dijun. And then the west is metal or gold, that's Golden Mother. And as for Golden Mother, there is transforming Golden Mother that transform into 5 colors, 5 different colors. Radiating light, the golden light is wish fulfilling. The wood color is to subdue evil people, and the water color to break the bad lucks. The fire color, light, is to attract magnetism and love respect, and the earth color is for wealth. The red color, light, is to attract favorable people, and then the yellow light is for wealth, and yellow color for winning prizes, and the blue or black light is to subdue your enemies. That's the great Dharma of transforming Golden Mother. 5 different colors. And her mudra is half open lotus. The mantra. Om Beja Jinmu Mulati Soha. Let me tell some jokes. The doctor was getting ready to perform a surgery on a man, and the man was anxious and looked at the doctor, and all of a sudden the man rolled under the bed, and cried out, "Someone, please come." And the nurse came and asked, "What happened?" "Please change a doctor right away." And the nurse asked, "Why?" And the man said, "Because I was the one who gave him the medical school diploma." Dad told Xiaoming, call your second uncle, ask him to come for a drink. And Xiaoming replied, he cannot come because his wife said he's doing laundry. And that's it. He's so useless, embarrassment to man. Had it been me, and then Xiaoming's mom came out, bringing cooking utensils. What are you saying? If it had been me, I would have finished the laundry long ago. That day, that year, Xiaoming was on a junior in junior high school. There was a class teacher that's really beautiful, and Xiaoming just really loved her. This is the first time he saw her. So the next day went to the teacher's dorm, trying to to tell her that he likes her. And then he couldn't think of a way, but then took a brick and wrote, "I love you 10,000 years," and then threw it. And then turned around and left. The next morning, they had a school meeting, and then the head of the principal was wrapped in a bandage and made an announcement to fire the security guard at the door. Because the name was sounding like the 10,000 years. That's so funny. Why at wedding banquets there are always lobsters? Do you know why? Because it's very tasty. Or is it because it's expensive? Actually, none of those. Because that's just implying that the newlywed how to maintain their marriage. But there's a homophone in Chinese. One should pretend to be deaf and the other one pretending to be blind. After marriage, you should pretend to be deaf and blind. That's why you have to eat lobster, which in Chinese sounds like blind and deaf. A couple is celebrating a 20-year anniversary, and the husband is full with tears and look very emotional, and the wife is very touched. You're full of feelings. I'm very touched. And the husband said, "But honey, do you remember that night 20 years ago? We were in the storage and that was caught by your dad, was discovered by your dad." And the wife said, "Of course, it's unforgettable." And then the husband said, your dad threatened me if I don't marry you, that he would sue me to send me to jail for 20 years. And the wife said, oh. And the husband was thinking, I was thinking, if I chose back then, if back then I chose to be in jail for 20 years, today I would have been free. Now we'll do Q&A. Question from Taiwan. Lian Hua again. Well, wholehearted reference, I pay homage to Grandmaster. Recently, I discovered since practicing the treasure-based energy yoga during meditations, using Vairocana 7-point posture, but the only time I don't do full lotus position, I feel Dharma joy and emptiness in my body. With focused visualization of enter me, I enter, both body and mind disappeared. And then in one group practice, I silently prayed for the yidam to enter the central channel, and instantly it's poured into my body. One, I would like to ask Grandmaster, if the central channel or along the spine is straight, then that allowed the yidam to smoothly enter and unify with me. But you can already be in union with your yidam. Why are you asking me if the spine has to be straight or not? That's a contradiction. Generally speaking, every time when we meditate, we should not slouch. We should sit up straight. Just like the shoulder and double lotus position. The body, the torso should be straight. And then to invoke the yidam to enter into your body. That's for sure. We have to do that in the visualization of oneness. I enter and enter me, where the I exit and enter into the heart of the yidam, or the light of the yidam entering into your body, and you transform into the yidam. That's called the Buddha's pride. So at that time you become the Buddha, and the Buddha is you. So that is called the appearance of the Buddha. So otherwise the central channel is crooked and it would be difficult to enter. So I cannot just hold my ear, and then otherwise the Master Shui Zhing would keep observing and know which part of my body is itching. She would say that I'm itching, but this is just a habit. So the central channel dwelling energy that is cultivated from the treasure vase energy help achieve better meditative stability, of course. When you hold the breath with no incoming or outgoing breath, that's treasure vase energy yoga. That's called holding the qi, or the breath, with no incoming or outgoing qi. Then it would be easier to enter meditation. Because when the qi moves, the mind moves. When the qi is still, the mind is also still. So in the beginning, you practice the breathing, but eventually, when you don't feel the incoming or outgoing qi, that's the breath counting, the method through breath counting to enter meditation. When you don't feel the qi or the breath is coming in or going out, and when you reach the most subtle, the finest kind of breathing, then the qi is slow and long and fine. So the qi is fine, slow, and long. Then you can enter into meditation. If your breathing or qi is coarse and short, and fast, then it will not be easy to enter meditation. The finer, the slower, and the longer the breathing is, until you feel like there is no breathing, then that would be easier to enter meditation. Because when the qi moves, the mind moves. When the qi stays, the mind stays. That's one fifth instruction in spiritual cultivation. You train your breathing to breathe finely, slowly, and long, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. So you count as it's coming in, out 2, coming in again 3, out 4, and 5, 6, gradually until you don't feel the breathing anymore, and then you enter samadhi. That's the breath counting method, and it requires full breathing. You need to visualize the breath reaches all the dantians, the upper, middle, and lower dantian, not just to the throat or the lungs. The central channel has to be straight. That's the answer to Lotus Menghua from Taiwan. Yesterday, we talk about Sakyamuni Buddha, that a human has changes, that year by year, month by month, day by day, we age, and hour by hour, we also age. Every minute, every second, there are thoughts arising and ceasing. Actually, it is all ever changing. So anything that's changing is considered the guest, and things that don't change is considered the host or the master. And Sakyamuni Buddha used many examples to describe, like say the host of an inn. He stays at the inn. He does not move. That's the master, the host. But the guests come to the inn for one and stay for one night, and then the next day would leave. They are considered the guests. So the host is the wondrous, luminous, true mind, and the guests are traveling constantly. They are moving. So the host is still, and those who are moving are considered the guests. So Sakyamuni Buddha used that as an analogy, and he also used analogy that your body from childhood until old age, that's moving, changing, that means moving. And Sakyamuni Buddha said, but the water of the Ganges River that you saw when you were 3 and when you were 62, are they the same? Yes, the same. They have not changed. So the water of the Ganges River represents the host, but your body is ever changing, and that is representing the guest. So he used several analogies. And I'm touching my ear again. It's my habit to pull my earlobe so that it grows longer. That in the future I would become Maitreya Bodhisattva with long ears. My ears too have changed. When I was young, my ears were tiny, so tiny, like the ears of the mouse, of a mouse. And as I grow old, and by pulling them, they grow longer. And in the future, the 2 loops would touch the shoulders. Now let's discuss the Surangama Sutra. Ananda then rose from his seat, bowed to the Buddha with palms joined, knelt down on both knees and said, Lord Honored One, if the seeing and hearing truly is non-arising and non-ceasing, then why does the Lord Honored One say that beings like us have lost our true nature and behave in an inverted way? I pray that your great compassion will cleanse me of my defilements. So Ananda, hearing Sakyamuni Buddha talk about the water of the Ganges River, that the seeing nature is non-arising and non-ceasing, that the water that was seen at 3 and at 62 stayed the same. So that's the non-ceasing of the seeing nature. So what you see does not change. That's the wondrous, luminous, true mind. And upon hearing that, he had questions. He had so many questions. So he rose, bowed, joined his palms, knelt down, and said, Sakyamuni Buddha, my seeing nature is not rising and not ceasing. But why, Sakyamuni Buddha, you said that we humans have lost our true nature and act in an inverted way. So please cleanse me of my defilements. Please clarify. Please, with compassion, you can cleanse all the defilements from my heart-mind. Because you say we act in an inverted way. Because Sakyamuni Buddha was talking about the seeing nature of King Prasenajit that's non-arising and non-ceasing. So it should be the same with us, right? Non-arising and non-ceasing. But why did you say we act in an inverted way? So immediately the Tathagata lowered his golden arm with the wheel mark fingers pointing downward and asked, "Do you see my mudra hand? Is it upward or inverted?" So let's just say like this. Do you see my hand that's forming a mudra? Is it upright or inverted? And Ananda said, all the worldly beings would say it's inverted or upturned. But as for me, I don't know. So all sentient beings would know that it is upturned. But I don't know what is upright and what is upturned. So the Buddha told Ananda, if the people of the world take this as inverted, then what would they consider as upright? So if they say this is inverted, then what is upright? And Ananda replied, when the Tathagata raises his arm and points upward to the sky with his soft cotton-like hand, that is called upright. So if you move your inverted hand upward, then that would be upright, and this one is inverted. So Ananda said, if it's pointing upward, that's upright, and if it's pointing downward, that's upturned. So soft cotton-like hand, Sakyamuni Buddha's hand is so soft, like a kind of very fine cotton, fine soft cotton, to indicate that his hand is very soft. And he formed a mudra with his hand. So if you point to the sky, that's upright. If you point downward, that's inverted or upturned. Then Sakyamuni Buddha raised his arm and pointing upward and told Ananda, if this inversion, where top and bottom are switched, causes all worldly people to look again, then carefully observe your body and the bodies of all the Buddhas, which are pure and radiant Dharma bodies. The body of the Tathagatas is perfect and all-knowing, while your body is inverted in nature. Now closely examine your body and the Buddha's body. Where exactly can the name inverted be applied, and what part should be labeled inversion? That's a very lengthy, wordy. Simply explain. Everybody thinks that's upright, this is up, this is downward. This is inverted, this is upright. And then Sakyamuni Buddha said, let's just use this as an analogy, as a comparison. Sakyamuni Buddha's body is the pure Dharma body. There is no such thing as inversion, as being inverted or upturned. There is no such thing as upright and inverted. And Sakyamuni Buddha is the correct, omnipresent and anuttara samyak sambodhi, enlightened. And sentient beings are deluded. And deluded at what? At that this is pointing like this is upright. pointing like this is inverted. And those are completely irrelevant to the wondrous, luminous, true mind of the Tathagata. You're just being deluded or worrying about that this is upright and this is downward. That's why Sakyamuni Buddha said that all of you humans are all inverted or upside down. Sakyamuni Buddha's body is the Tathagata Dharma body. There is no such thing as inversion. That's omnipresent. But sentient beings are led by what they see, deluded by the sight. And then, because of the delusion, they act in an inverted way. Simply, let me give you an example. The Vimalakirti, great master, can go to the gambling parlor. Why? Because he went to the gambling parlor to deliver sentient beings, not to gamble. Because he's enlightened. He's the enlightened one. He can go anywhere. He can go to the casino. He can go to the brothel, to the prostitution house. It's not that he is attracted by the prostitutes, but to salvage or deliver the deluded sentient beings. That's why he could go there. He could have a business and career, but not deluded by wealth. Then of course he can. He earned a lot of money. So wealth, sex, sensual pleasure, and fame cannot touch him at all, cannot delude him. He can go to all realms in the 10 directions. But beginner bodhisattvas, those who started their spiritual cultivation, don't have enough meditative stability. They cannot do those, because once you do those, you become deluded, become obsessed by them, and then you become inverted. Sakyamuni Buddha said, there's a book called The Finger Pointing at the Moon. So, teaching you to look at the moon, not to look at the finger. But the deluded sentient beings are paying attention to the finger. But I'm teaching you to look at the moon, to look at the wondrous, luminous, true mind, not asking you to look at my finger, whether this is pointing upward or downward. There is a Zen Buddhist that's called pointing to the finger. Pointing to the moon. Pointing to the moon. To ask you to look at the wondrous, luminous, true mind, not to the finger. That's why people in the world are all upside down, topsy-turvy. But the true bodies of the Tathagatas are not upside down. That's the primary meaning here, that the Tathagata is omnipresent, omniscient, perfect and all-knowing. That's Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the right equality and right realization. They're omniscient. They know everything. Perfect and all-knowing. They know about everything. That's enlightened. That's enlightenment. Once anyone that has gained enlightenment can go anywhere. They have enough meditative stability. Like the great master Vimalakirti, he can go anywhere. If you don't have enough meditative stability, then you have to abide by the precepts. That's why the Vimalakirti Sutra, it mentioned that wealth, sex, and fame, anger, lust, and ignorance, and delusion, they are all Buddha Dharma. Because if you're not deluded by them, you're enlightened. You will not be deluded by them. But if you're still deluded, then you have to abide by the precepts. If you still have any delusion, you have to abide by the precepts. That's all. So the spiritual cultivation of arhats, generally they don't deliver sentient beings, but they abide by the precepts, like Mahakashyapa. His mouth did not take. He also abide by the precepts in his diet. He ate the lowest kind of food. He does not strive for taste. What is tasty, what is not tasty. That's not in his book. He eats anything that's the worst kind, and before taking it, he even visualizes it is poo. So he ate poo. He drank pee. Yeah. That's Cantonese. So he truly abided by the precepts. So he took the food to be poop and the drinks to be pee. So he did not strive for the sight, smell, taste, and touch. He did not touch any money because he abided by the precepts not to be greedy toward money. So when you see a woman, then you should not see her face or her eyes. You have to look down, because as soon as you see the eyes, you would be electrified and numb all over your body, and then at night you start having hallucination, and then you're starting to have lust. So those who abide by the precepts are arhats. They don't look at women, they look at the ground. When they speak to a woman, it's never over 5 sentences. They only speak 3 or 4, or just a few words, 3 or 4 sentences, just a few words. Just saying the key points and nothing else. They always look down to the ground and not allowed to look at her eyes or her body. That's abidance by the precepts and have attainment through this. If you have attainment through this practice, you're an arhat. An arhat has to abide by the precepts. But Mahayana monks, because you have some realizations, you're not deluded, then you can. If you're still deluded, then you are not qualified to practice Mahayana Dharma. So, so-called everything is just in between delusion and enlightenment. Are you still under delusion, or are you already enlightened? You need to be clear about it yourself. If you still have delusion and have not seen your own wondrous, luminous, true mind, but if you're immovable, you can go anywhere and you can do anything. That's enlightened. But if you're still under delusion, you have to abide by the precepts. That's the simple analogy. That's what this part is talking about. So Sakyamuni Buddha uses this analogy. Look at my hand. This is upright and this is inverted. And everybody believed that. But actually, the wondrous, luminous, true mind is immovable. There is no such thing as being upright or upturned. But sentient beings are all upside down. That's why they all just guess. Only those that are unmoved are called the hosts. If your heart is unmoved, you can go anywhere. But if your mind and heart is or are moved, then you're deluded. So Sakyamuni Buddha already talked about it very clearly. The host of the inn does not move, but the guests, the travelers, only stay for the night, and then the next day they leave. So you need to be clear who's the host, who's the guest, and what is delusion, what is enlightenment. So the koan, or the teaching of pointing to the moon, is not asking you to look at the finger, but to look at the moon.
所以他这里讲了这个告阿难言：若此颠倒，首尾互坏，诸世间人一被瞻视，则知你身以诸如来清净法身，必类化如来之身，名。The Buddha raised his arm and said, if this inversion where the top and bottom are switched causes all worldly people to look again, then carefully observe your body and the bodies of the Buddhas, which are pure and radiant Dharma bodies. The body of the Tathagatas is called perfect and all-knowing, while your body is inverted in nature. Although your body is the same as the body of the Buddha, but yours is inverted, and the Buddha's is enlightened. That's the Tathagata Dharma body. The wondrous, radiant, true mind is the host and upright. So everything we see by all sentient beings in the Saha will see are all inverted. They are deluded by everything in the world. That's why they are inverted, upside down. You know, even the appearance you cannot maintain. And wealth or money, doesn't matter how much you earn, your two hands are empty. And the appearance will age, and fame, what use is that for you? The fame is also fake. Look at those to become presidents. If Xiaoming is not obedient, we would ask him to become a Korean president, and then he would know how unfortunate that is, because almost all Korean presidents are either in prison or committed suicide. The Park was assassinated, and then his daughter was in prison, was jailed, and now coming out, and that's about, it's lost her mind. Now lost the mind. When you're young, you were very energetic, and there were two with the family named Lu Wuxian, Lu Tai.
I think one of them was imprisoned, the other one killed themselves by jumping into the ocean. They were both presidents. They were all presidents. So if you're not good, we'll send you to Korea to be president there. They're also pitiful. Really, only the unfortunate ones become presidents there. It's better just to be a commoner, to live your lives peacefully and stably. All sentient beings are upside down. So Sakyamuni Buddha is enlightened. Vimalakirti, which is the Jinli Tathagata, is also enlightened. He could go anywhere with great self-mastery and freedom. And the world, sensual pleasures and fame come and go. So what is inversion? And what is upright? Sakyamuni Buddha used this analogy. And this is upright, and this is upside down. He used his finger. But you're inverted, so that's not the case anymore. And then the next piece, you can read on your own. What I just talked about is to explain that. So at that time, Ananda in the assembly stared at the Buddha. So stared blankly at the Buddha. Confused and unaware of the inverted state of body and mind. And the Buddha, moved by compassion, compassionate toward Ananda and all the people, like a voice, like the ocean tide, so that everybody can hear. He said, "Oh, good man, I often see everything that your eyes see, what you hear, what they're all inverted. You're deluded by all the images outside you." So that's the mind due to the causes and conditions. And then you generate discernment. So they're all created by your mind. So everything under the earth, under the heaven, is created by the mind. Your body and mind actually appeared from the wondrous, luminous, true mind. But why did you lose this wondrous, luminous, true mind? And mistake this inner clarity and mistake the illusion for the reality. Like you think you're enlightened, but actually you're not. You're still deluded. and you take murkiness for emptiness, darkness for form, and conceptual illusions for the self. So your body is made up from the four elements, the earth, water, fire, and wind. So all kinds of sights and external phenomena that form your body, but you're ever moving, you're never still. And you think all the external phenomena, the shadows of illusion, so you see the external images and all the actions and all chaotic, and you mistake them to be the nature of your mind, to be the mind. So the mind has been deluded, and you firmly believe that it resides within the physical body. You think that the body is real. You're unaware that this physical body and everything outside, the mountains, rivers, space, and the earth, are nothing but appearances within the wondrous, luminous true mind. So you throw away all the ocean and you're just a bubble, and yet you believe that the bubble is the great ocean. So you think the bubble is real, that it's the same as the great ocean. So in this way you are deluded. So that's no difference as my finger pointing up or down, but inverted. So everybody is upside down, being deluded by images, external images, by your own, and you don't recognize the wondrous, luminous, true mind. So this is talking about delusion versus enlightenment. So once you're enlightened, your heart mind is unmoved, is immovable. So if you're enlightened, the rocks at my home are gold. And gold is also rocks. So once you're enlightened, that's the case. But before enlightened, gold is gold, and the stone is a stone. Then you would love gold and throw away the rock. That's the difference. Once you're enlightened, you would find everything not matter. Nothing doesn't matter. That's the book that I wrote before, the philosophy of I don't care. Everything is the best arrangement. Don't you think so? What use is gaining something? And then if you lose it, so what? You don't have the mindset for gaining or losing. Or gaining and losing doesn't matter to you. So as a sadhaka, spiritual cultivator, you need to understand. The drinker, if you are obsessed with the drink, the alcohol, then you would become a drunkard, and then whatever you do is upside down. But if you drink and you're very clear and you're not confused or deluded by it, then it's okay for you to drink. But after drinking, you're upside down. And you're not upside down if you don't drink, then it's still best for you not to drink. Some people can drink because they would never be controlled by the alcohol. That's why it's fine for them. But if you're controlled by the alcohol, then you cannot drink. So one is delusion, one is enlightenment. So the lay Buddhist Vimalakirti can go to the brothel, go to the gambling parlor. He can go to anywhere to deliver sentient beings. That's to deliver sentient beings. Those sentient beings are amidst delusion. As they still differentiate which ones are spiritual centers and which ones are not. There was a great master asked, "Where are you from?" "I'm from a spiritual center." And Vimalakirti said, "Where is there a place that's not spiritual center?" "Straight mind is the spiritual center. Everywhere is a spiritual center." What is Buddha Dharma? Everything is Buddha Dharma. The enlightened one would know everything is Buddha Dharma. Wealth, sex, fame, rage, lust, delusion are all Buddha Dharma. That's for the enlightened one. But before enlightenment, they differentiate those. So a truly wealthy person is the one who owns the whole sky, the whole cosmic space. That would be the true wealthy person. If you study Buddhism, then you would own the whole cosmic space. If you are amidst enlightenment, then you own everything. But if you are deluded, the so-called wealth is just rocks and stones. So some people just keep running after money, continuing running and running, but at the end it's all empty. So people invest or play the stocks, but I, Sheng-Yen Lu, never invest. The US dollar has come down and Taiwan dollar rises. Should I change? Someone asked me, "Do you want to convert your Taiwan dollar into US dollar?" I said, "No. You don't need to touch anything. It doesn't matter whether the exchange is going up or down. As long as it's enough for this life, it's good enough. It doesn't matter what exchange rate is moving up or down. So what use if there's more? I still eat 3 times a day and sleep on the same bed. I cannot sleep on 2 beds, right? Because I have more money? No. How can you sleep on 2 beds, right? You just sleep on 1 bed and you still eat the same kinds of food. You can eat all the delicious seafood, and because the doctors told me you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't eat that. What should I eat then? I've lived to be 81. I cannot eat seafood. I was warned, you can't touch seafood. Then you will itch. if you eat them.
肉也不能吃。
Now you can't eat meat. No beef, lamb, no meat, whatever meat.
便宜的猪肉。
Just can eat the cheap pork.
肉也不能吃。
So can't eat meat anymore.
豆也不能吃。
Can't eat beans because you have
豆子
gout.
也不能吃。
Can't touch beans.
豆。
So seafood, meat, beans.
本来就不吃，不能喝牛奶了，因为
And I don't drink milk
有些人
because of the lactose intolerance for most
牛
Asians.
奶从来没有喝，从来
I don't drink
也
milk,
不能吃。
so no dairy.
好像奶就对了，乳也不能吃。好了，剩下
So no dairy. So all that's left is
蛋呢？
egg.
鸭蛋呢？
So chicken egg, duck egg, geese egg, bird egg.
剩下一个蛋了。
That's it.
蛋
All I can eat is dumb egg, dumb eggs.
活着真的没意思哎。
Life is so meaningless.
这不能。
And the Chinese doctor said, oh, and then you cannot eat that and that and that and that.
我会看到他，等你走了我再吃。
So now, whenever he turns or leaves, then I eat.
多吃一点。
Then I'll eat a little bit of it.
人家讲说吃少少没关系啦。
And people say, it's okay just to eat a little bit of this and that.
吃一点没关系，吃一点，加起来就变成多。
And then someone said, but altogether it becomes a lot.
我年纪大，也是
At old age, that's very pitiful.
什么都不可能。
Old age is pitiful. You cannot eat everything.
人家是那个什么，我现在检查那个验血，
I had blood tests,
他说我是
and they said
钾太高，
I had high potassium.
钾是到5.1是正常，5.1
The range was up to 5.1, 3 point something to 5.1.
这中间是正常，钾
That range is normal, and my potassium
5.7
is 5.6 or 5.7,
高了0.6，
just over
钾太高，
0.6.
钾太高，钾是什么玩意儿？
What is potassium anyway?
对呀、水果也有钾，什么东西都有钾。
There's so many green leaves and fruits have potassium, and I cannot touch those, so what should I eat then?
每样东西都有钾，
Everything has potassium.
有的含量低，还要把它分别出来，
Some are higher, some are lower,
太高。
and they say that I have too high potassium.
丁
It makes me upset. Oh.
这个男人问上帝，为什么女孩总
The man asked God, why the girls are always sweet
爱生气？
and cute and beautiful, but the wife is always very fierce and.
那是你家的事。
But I created girls, and you are the one that changed them into wives, so that's your problem.
40 kilo 叫做骨感，
40 kilos is
叫做
attractively slimy. At 50 kilos, that's voluptuous. At 60 kilos, that's
就是情感。
90 sexy and voluptuous. And then lovely at 70. And 90 kilos, that's safety. And 100 kilos, that's called
100
courage.
哇，有一个
The reporter interviewed exemplar old-age couple, elderly couple, and Grandpa, you're over 80. I'm a grandpa too. And you still call your wife honey. How can you do that? And the grandpa said, hey, don't mention it. A few years ago, all of a sudden, I lost my memory and forgot what her name was. And I didn't dare to ask, so I'll just call her honey. Because he's forgotten her name. The teacher asked Xiaoming, in the journey to the west, who's the most incredible? And Xiaoming said, the Monkey King, because he could change into 72 forms. And Xi-hua said, no, it's Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, because she could chant the bounding mantra. Xiaochang said, no, it's the Tathagata, because with the palm, it could imprison the Monkey King for 500 years underneath the mountain. And the teacher asked Xiaoming, now do you know who's the most incredible? And Xiaoming said, I think those students are nothing. I think must be the father of Monkey King. Because he could impregnate the rock. Because Monkey King was transformed from the rock. It's funny. A asked B, didn't you go on a date, the marriage dating last night? Did it happen? And he said, no, probably. No chance, I said the wrong thing. And B said, what did you say? And A said, I was going to praise that she's like a Barbie doll. And then, huh? Oh. And then I said she was like a, like a doll, like the air doll. What do you call that? So it's like a, what's it called? You know, the doll with the air. So the most unfortunate man is that accompanying the wife to the groceries, we met the lover, and when the lover, going out with the lover, met the sister of the wife, and then kissing that sister of the wife was discovered by the father. And then having a date with the online friend, and that was the wife. And standing under the tall building, I felt really cold in the heart. And the face, that's the salty water, whether that's rainwater or tears. And then I look up, and some whose underwear was that, dripping wet. That's really bad luck. couples getting divorced and fighting for the child's custody at the court. The wife said, the child came from my abdomen, so of course it's mine. And the husband said, nonsense. So money coming out from ATM belongs to the ATM. So it belongs to those who stick in the card. And the judge fainted, and the lawyers also admired. But if the child is fake money, do you still want it? No money, pay me home. No money, pay me home. We're very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teachings. In a moment, there would be the empowerment for the transforming Golden Mother. And please remember to return your receivers right away. Thank you very much. This ends the English interpretation today.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛带领与会大众顶礼坛城，做观想大礼拜，礼拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛，嗡啊吽观想顶礼，为天心善引；二拜诸菩萨，嗡啊吽观想顶礼，为天心善引；三拜诸护法金刚，嗡啊吽观想顶礼，回天心善引，是平等一起手。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛接受尊献上众弟子们的感恩之心。
好，师母好，大家好。
请假期，保重佛体，保重佛体。
爱你世尊。眷属
分享佛法无健康，
健康，
身体健康，身体健康，
阿弥陀
佛身体健康，阿弥陀佛身体健康，
来一切吉祥，
多多加持，阿弥陀佛身体健康，
好，师母好，谢谢
陀佛身体健康，
保重身体健康，
事事康健，事事健康，开心，
爱你哦，世尊。
阿弥陀佛身体健康，
爱你。
世世加持，阿弥陀佛身体健康，阿弥陀佛身体健康，阿弥陀佛身体健康，保护金，我爱你，我爱你，阿弥陀佛身体健康，阿弥陀佛身体健康，爱你世尊，爱你世尊，爱你，我爱你，我爱你，爱你哟，这些母身体的小人们，我爱你，无极心上无极，无极我爱你，
父母身体健康，谢谢师尊，谢谢云上线上的同们，下周见，谢谢你们，谢谢。下周就是6月了哈，6月见哦。 恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛为与会大众做瑶池金木总持灌顶。请义工优先灌顶，谢谢。
Om
要结束了，还没有结束观点的同们，请赶快过来。感恩师尊。让我们以最热烈的掌声感恩师尊慈悲赐受灌顶，谢谢师尊。
师尊辛苦啦！
谢谢师尊，我爱你哦，我爱你，
师尊，就是爱你。3344520，师尊。
谢谢师尊，谢谢师尊，谢谢师尊。